As the last echoes of cheers faded into the evening air, the once bustling arena began to empty. The vibrant colors of fans' shirts, adorned with images of Muhammad Ali, had long since vanished, leaving behind a hushed calm that wrapped around the steps like a warm blanket. The excitement of the championship event lingered in the atmosphere, but it was now paired with an air of stillness. The bright lights that had captivated thousands dimmed slightly, casting soft shadows across the empty seats and creating a sense of nostalgia. In this quiet moment, an elderly man sat alone on the steps, his heart still racing from the thrill of being part of something bigger than himself. He clutched a weathered photo of Ali tightly in his hands, its edges frayed from years of travel and countless memories. The man's eyes sparkled as he gazed at the image, recalling how he had carried this photograph through war zones and hospital rooms, every bump and bruise on its surface telling a story of endurance and hope. Around him, discarded programs and popcorn bags lay scattered, reminders of the joyful chaos that had just occurred. A few lingering fans took their time leaving, sharing stories and laughter as they reminisced about witnessing greatness. But for this elderly man, all that noise faded away. His focus was on capturing a moment with his idol. He felt a mix of anxiety and excitement bubbling within him. It was a unique opportunity to meet someone who had inspired him through life's toughest battles. As he sat there waiting, time seemed to stretch endlessly before him, full of dreams yet anchored by reality. Little did he know that soon he would not just meet a legend but would also share something profound through their brief encounter on those steps. The elderly man, whose name was Henry, had seen more than just the passage of time. He had navigated through a life that was a series of challenges and victories. Growing up in a small town, he was raised by his grandmother after losing his parents at a young age. She taught him the value of persistence and strength, which helped shape his character. From an early age, Henry learned that life wasn't always fair, but it was how you faced those unfair moments that defined you. In his 20s, he enlisted in the military, eager to serve his country. He carried the photo of Muhammad Ali with him during his tours, finding solace in the face of adversity. The image represented not only a hero in the ring but a symbol of courage and tenacity that inspired him through the chaos of battle. While witnessing the harsh realities of war, it was Ali's legacy that gave him hope and reminded him to keep fighting, whether inside or outside the ring. When illness struck later in life, Henry clung to that same photo for comfort. As he endured treatments and difficult moments, he would hold the image tightly and recall Ali's words about strength, resilience, and the importance of never giving up. Through all his struggles, he realized that carrying this photo wasn't merely about admiration, it became a part of his identity. Now sitting on those steps, waiting for Ali, he felt a rush of memories flood back, each wrinkle on the photograph holding a piece of his journey. It wasn't just an old picture, it was a testament to his life's battles and triumphs. Henry awaited more than just an autograph. He longed to share his story and perhaps hear a word of encouragement from the man who inspired him for decades. As Henry sat on the steps, his heart raced with a mix of excitement and nerves. The arena was now quiet, but in his mind, the echoes of cheers and applause were still vivid. Each minute felt like an hour as he anxiously scanned the area, hoping to catch a glimpse of Muhammad Ali. The photograph in his hands felt warm, almost alive, as if it were pulsing with memories of moments past. He could hardly believe that the time had finally come for him to meet the man who had been a beacon of strength throughout his life. The thought made his hands tremble slightly as he ran his fingers over the familiar face captured in the image. How many times had he looked at this photograph during difficult nights? How many times had he drawn strength from Ali's fierce determination in the ring? It was not just a picture, it was a piece of his own journey. Henry replayed countless scenarios in his mind. What would he say? How would he introduce himself? Would Ali remember that he was more than just a fan but someone who fought through life's battles with his inspiration? He closed his eyes for a moment, visualizing Ali's smile and remembering how it seemed to light up a room. Would it feel real when they finally met? The distant sounds of footsteps broke through his thoughts, making him sit taller. At that moment, every hope and dream swirled inside him, igniting a fire of anticipation. This was more than just an autograph or a brief chat. It was a chance to connect with a legend who had impacted his life profoundly. Henry took a deep breath, gathering his courage as he prepared for the moment he had long awaited, ready to share his story with the man who meant so much to him. As Henry's heart raced with anticipation, a figure emerged from the shadows of the arena. The crowd had mostly dispersed, but there stood Muhammad Ali, his presence as powerful as ever. Dressed in a casual yet striking outfit, Ali exuded a warmth that radiated even from a distance. Henry's breath caught in his throat. He could hardly believe that the moment he had dreamed of for decades was finally unfolding before him. Ali moved with an easy grace, his eyes scanning the area when they suddenly met Henry's. In that instant, time seemed to freeze. A smile broke across Ali's face, illuminating the evening gloom like a beacon. He recognized the photograph Henry clutched tightly in his hands. With a swift, friendly stride, Ali approached, creating a space where magic felt possible. "Hey there, my friend!" Ali exclaimed, his voice booming with enthusiasm. "What do you have there?" His eyes sparkled with curiosity and genuine interest as he leaned down to get a better look at the photo that had traveled through so many moments with Henry. Henry's heart soared as he struggled to find his voice, overwhelmed by the sheer joy of the encounter. The lingering nerves that had plagued him moments earlier vanished under the warmth of Ali's presence. "It's a picture of you from years ago," he managed to say, his fingers brushing over the faded image. Ali's face lit up with recognition as he took a seat on the steps beside Henry, effortlessly bridging the gap between legend and fan. "I remember that day," he laughed, and in those few words, Ali transformed what once felt like a distant dream into an intimate conversation. Henry couldn't contain the joy bubbling within him. Here he was, sitting side by side with the icon who had inspired him through thick and thin, a moment he would cherish forever. As they settled onto the steps, an air of comfort enveloped them, and the world around faded away. Henry felt a surge of emotion as he began to share his story with Ali. "This photo has been with me through so much," he said, gesturing to the faded image. "It traveled with me through war and illness. There were nights when I felt completely lost, and it was your strength that kept me going." Ali listened intently, his eyes sparkling with understanding. "I know what it's like to face challenges," he replied, his voice steady and warm. "Life can throw punches that knock you down, but what matters is how you get back up." His words resonated deeply with Henry, who found solace in the shared experience of overcoming adversity. Their conversation flowed naturally, touching on various topics: boxing, life lessons, and the importance of perseverance. Henry spoke of watching Ali's fights on television as a kid, how he would mimic his moves in front of the mirror, dreaming of being just as strong and fearless. Ali chuckled, recalling his own journey from a young boy in Louisville to becoming a world champion. "It all starts with belief," he said passionately. "You have to believe in yourself, even when others don't." Henry's admiration for Ali deepened as he heard him speak candidly about the struggles he faced outside the ring, including battles with doubt and personal challenges. The two men connected over their shared understanding of resilience and hope, each encouraging the other in their own ways. As their 10 minutes together drew to a close, Henry felt as though he had gained not only a cherished memory but also an invaluable lesson from a true champion. The warmth of Ali's presence lingered long after their conversation ended, leaving Henry with a renewed sense of purpose and inspiration to carry forward. The decades-old photo of Muhammad Ali was much more than just an image for Henry. It was a symbol of hope and resilience that accompanied him through some of the darkest times in his life. He recalled the day he first received the photo, a gift from his grandmother when he was just a boy. It featured Ali in his prime, fists raised in victory, and it quickly became a cherished talisman. During his time in the military, as Henry faced the chaos of war, the photo provided him with comfort. Whenever doubt crept in or fear threatened to overwhelm him, he would take out the picture and let Ali's fierce determination light a fire within him. He remembered nights spent in makeshift barracks under a starlit sky, clutching that worn photograph tightly, whispering words of encouragement to himself as he faced uncertainty and danger. After returning home, life continued to present challenges. Henry battled serious illness, enduring countless treatments that drained his energy and spirit. Yet, through every setback, he kept that photo close by his side. It served as a reminder that strength could be found even in the most difficult moments. He would often gaze at Ali's face, reflecting on the champion's own struggles, his fight against adversity both inside and outside the ring, and draw inspiration from it. With each wrinkle and crease on the photograph telling a story of resilience, Henry felt that this image encapsulated his own journey. It reminded him that, like Ali, he possessed an inner strength capable of overcoming obstacles. As he sat with Ali on those steps, holding the very photo that had been his anchor for years, Henry felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for how far he had come and for the legend who had unknowingly walked alongside him throughout it all. As their conversation began to wind down, Muhammad Ali looked at the weathered photo in Henry's hands and smiled. "You know, I'd be honored to sign that for you," he said warmly. With a swift yet gentle motion, he took the photograph and signed his name, adding a personal note. "Keep fighting." It was more than just an autograph. It felt like an affirmation of their shared journey through struggle and resilience. After handing the signed photo back to Henry, Ali turned and said, "Let's take a picture together." His enthusiasm radiated, bringing a spark of joy to Henry's heart. As they positioned themselves for the snapshot, Ali playfully struck one of his iconic boxing poses. Henry couldn't help but laugh. Here was a world champion who maintained his spirit of fun and humility despite his fame. Once the photo was taken, Ali stepped forward and enveloped Henry in a warm embrace. The hug was unexpected yet heartfelt, lasting longer than anyone could have anticipated. In that moment, Henry felt all his burdens lift away. The embrace wasn't just a gesture. It conveyed understanding, compassion, and kindness from one man who truly cared about another's journey. "You're just as important as I am," Ali whispered softly as he pulled away. For Henry, those words were life-changing. He had always admired Ali from a distance, but now he felt personally seen and valued by a legend he had looked up to throughout his life. As they parted ways, Henry knew he would carry this interaction with him forever. Ali had not only signed a photo but had also left an imprint on his heart. This was a moment filled with kindness that exemplified the true character of the champion, a reminder that even legends take time to honor those who admire them. As Henry reflected on his encounter with Muhammad Ali, a wave of emotions washed over him. Sitting on the steps, where they had just shared laughter and heartfelt words, he felt lighter than he had in years. The burdens he had carried through war and illness seemed to dissipate in that moment, replaced by a sense of validation and joy that coursed through his veins. The warmth of Ali's embrace still lingered, reminding him of the connection they shared, a bond created through resilience and mutual respect. For so long, Henry had viewed Ali not just as a champion in the ring but as a beacon of hope in his own life. But now, having spent that precious time with him, Henry realized that the legend was also a man who understood struggle and offered kindness without hesitation. Henry's perspective shifted as he processed what had just transpired. The whispers of doubt that had haunted him through past hardships now seemed distant. Ali's words, "You're just as important as I am," echoed in his mind, transforming his self-doubt into newfound confidence. He realized that his life experiences were not just struggles but stories of survival, each one contributing to who he had become. Leaving the arena that night, Henry walked with a renewed spirit. He felt inspired to share his own story with others, not just as a fan but as someone who had faced challenges and emerged stronger. The simple act of sitting beside a legend had reignited his passion for life. He found himself smiling at strangers and engaging in conversations he might have shied away from before. That encounter had awakened something deep within him, a resilience even greater than before. With Ali's encouragement in his heart, Henry understood that he was not merely a spectator in life but an active participant capable of inspiring others, just as Ali had inspired him. Later that evening, Henry sat across from his son at the kitchen table, the ambience warm and inviting. The smell of freshly brewed coffee filled the air as he prepared to share the extraordinary experience that had revitalized his spirit. As he looked into his son's eyes, he could see curiosity and anticipation, and he felt a wave of emotion welling up inside him. "Today was unlike any other day, son," Henry began, his voice trembling slightly with excitement. "I met Muhammad Ali." His son's eyes widened in disbelief, mirroring the wonder that Henry felt. He recounted every detail, from the moment he spotted Ali emerging from the shadows to their warm conversation on the steps. As he spoke, emotions surged within him: gratitude, nostalgia, and joy. He shared how Ali had signed the photo he had carried for decades, a symbol of strength throughout his life. "He told me I was just as important as he was," Henry continued, his voice thick with emotion. "In that moment, I felt like I mattered." His son listened intently, hanging on to every word as Henry described Ali's kindness and warmth. The story unfolded like a treasured memory, each moment more vivid than the last. Henry spoke of their laughter, the embrace that lifted his spirits, and how Ali's encouragement transformed his perspective on life. As he finished recounting the encounter, both father and son were misty-eyed. "You see," Henry said softly, "it's not just about meeting a legend, it's about realizing that we all have the strength to overcome our battles." His son nodded, visibly moved by his father's experience. That night, they shared a deeper connection. Henry felt lighter, as if a burden had been lifted, and his son felt inspired to face his own challenges with newfound determination. Together, they understood that stories of resilience and hope could be passed down, creating a legacy of strength that would endure for generations. Henry's encounter with Muhammad Ali became a pivotal moment not just in his life, but also in how he viewed the impact of legends on ordinary individuals. As he reflected on that evening, he understood that moments like these transcend simple admiration. They forge connections that inspire and uplift. Ali, a global icon, had taken the time to acknowledge Henry's struggles, reminding him that even a legend could see the strength in another's journey. This realization stirred something profound within him. It wasn't just about meeting someone famous. It was about recognizing that every person has the potential to be a hero in someone else's life. Henry realized that his own story, marked by resilience through war and illness, could resonate with others in ways he never imagined. He understood that what made Ali legendary wasn't solely his boxing prowess but his ability to connect with people, making them feel valued and important. As Henry shared his experience with more friends and family, he saw their eyes light up, feeling inspired by his words. They began sharing their own stories of struggle and triumph, realizing that they too could offer support and hope to those around them. In this way, Ali's kindness rippled outward, creating a legacy of connection that extended far beyond the moment they met. Henry knew that he wanted to carry this torch of compassion forward. He felt empowered to encourage others facing their own battles, reflecting the same warmth Ali had shown him. His history of challenges became a source of strength not only for himself but for those willing to listen. In this interconnected web of shared experiences, every individual can be a legend in someone else's eyes. Henry embraced this truth wholeheartedly, understanding that through compassion and kindness, he could leave a lasting impact on the lives around him, just as Muhammad Ali had done for him.